Welcome back to Ravenport on Farming Simulator 19 for episode 28 with me, MrSealyp. Something a bit different on Ravenport today. I say one of my workers is finishing off the sowing of field 4 with cotton. That's just got the tiniest little bit left to do. I pinched a bit of fertiliser out of my fertiliser spreader because it needed a top up. I'm in the process of a contract on field 13 harvesting sunflowers, I believe it is, and I've got a borrowed Fent, I think it's a Fent Ideal I'm using up there. Check on that in a minute. But I need to do some landscaping around the farm. I've got a pile of logs you might have already seen if you've been following my Let's Play, from where I cleared a couple of trees to put in the hayloft, and I did say that I was going to extend the land out beyond the hayloft because I need to put another barn or shelter in, something along those lines. And what I've done is I've been putting my machinery, or bringing my machinery back down to the farm from up at Carlos' store, and I've sort of come to the conclusion that because I'm expanding and I've got more equipment and all sorts of stuff going on, I haven't really got enough room for everything. So that's only just about filling up. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. Keep going, there we go. Whilst this doesn't require any horsepower requirement because it's got its own engine, it's still fairly heavy to pull. The only reason I brought it down with the New Holland was because that was what was up there already. So what I've done is, on my way back to the farm, on the way in with every piece of equipment I've bought in, we've stopped here and we've repaired everything. So everything's repaired as it should be. So as you can see, I've got the Brantner there, but the other trailer, the bale trailer, is up at the store still for doing transport jobs, but that would probably slot into that gap there. Now this has got quite a big overhang, so longer stuff's fine. The cultivator's back in its place, the harvest is okay, the mowers are in. There's not really a huge amount of space, bearing in mind the header's there, kind of in the way. I was going to tuck it down the side there between the cow pasture and the bunker silo, maybe. I have got the trailed line duo that I still have got leased, long-term lease. There you go, help us cease complete the task. That should be field 4 sown. There we go, field 4. The machinery's up there in the top corner. I've got a leased seeder, but I don't have much seeds left in that, so I won't send that back yet because I might need to. I should have about 1,000 litres left in that, or did I only put 1,000 in it? Regardless, doesn't matter, I'll sort that in a bit. That's fine. Like I say, field 13 is being harvested at the moment. That's going to be full fairly soon. It's a big harvester, but it's still going to be full. The stuff from that's got to go down to the port grain elevator, which isn't too far to go, but it's only a small trailer as well, Joskin I think it is. Yeah, I've still got this, and I want to get one of the self-propelled ones, which I think is about 120,000, which I'm definitely going to do, which is also going to need a home. It's going to need to be parked. This has been just kind of left out under there, and it shouldn't really, but so what I'm going to do, I'm clearing the trees here, a few of these, and I'm going to extend out like I've done here. So I'm going to bring the land out level, probably about the same distance, maybe a little bit further, I don't know. And we're going to stick a shelter on here, or a barn or something on this plot here. That's the plan. I have got my trusty chainsaw. Now I'm going to leave the ones over here by the entrance because I like those, they're kind of a feature. These are going to take a little bit of work, and then we'll get the... let's get a bit closer. Let's drop down and... why is that not? There we go. Needs to be on yellow. Yeah, then we'll get the wood chipper over and we'll wood chip everything. It's going to be fairly small chunks I'm going to be chucking in there. It's going to take a little while. The pine tree type ones are far easier. These ones are a bit of a pain, as you can imagine, because the branches don't want to go. Some of them do. They take a bit of work, but we'll get there in the end. Like that. This all seems a little bit more jerky than it did on 17. Getting rid of stuff on 17 was like all the branches was a lot smoother, more fluid. As I've also got the stump grinder as well on the front, which I'm going to be using to obviously grind out the stumps. Because while the stumps are still there, it registers there's something in the ground and it won't allow you to put placeables in or adjust the ground or anything like that. It won't let you landscape. I've still got a lot of people saying that their landscaping tool has either vanished completely or it keeps dropping in and out. It's very peculiar. I don't know why that's happening. Like I say, I don't work for Giants. I'm sorry. I honestly can't help you. I don't know why it would be doing it. Actually, some of these, I haven't got a log fork, have I? Maybe I could get a log fork and do some of these in bigger chunks, because that's going to make life a lot easier, isn't it? Okay. Yeah, it will be easier doing this in bigger chunks. I've got the telehandler, I've got a couple of tractors. I suppose I could. I've just got to be careful this thing doesn't fall on me. Let's get to there. So what I'll do is I'll probably buck some of this up, get it into smaller, more manageable pieces. Chong! Bye. Weird. Come on, I just want to get rid of that bit there. Oh, okay. We're getting there. So you get the idea of what I'm going to be doing. So what I'm going to do is I'll spend a bit of time clearing some of this, chopping this up, getting this into smaller bits. It's fiddly, let's just say that. I find it a lot more fiddly than it was. It's quicker in that the chainsaw seems to operate faster, but it's slower in that it's a real fiddly process now. But, you know. Did that even go? Yeah, kind of. We are getting there, slowly but surely. I've got the Brantner Power Push trailer, so all the wood chips will go into that when we actually get to it. And my intention by the end of the episode is to get all these trees out, wood chipped, and get this bit landscaped. That's the plan. Well, that seems to have gone a bit... It's gone awry. Okay, we're getting there. It's weird how some of these bits as well are really easy to pick up. I know when I did the logging in the very early episodes down by field 19, was it? Some of them you picked up no problem at all. Others said they were too heavy but were smaller than the bits that I just picked up. It's all a bit peculiar. But we are getting there. If I chop that bit in there. It's even registering. There we go. That's better. It all goes a little bit crazy. Right, I will see you in a bit. We'll have all of those down, hopefully. Some of these are going to be a bit easier to do. Those two are going to be easier because they're straighter. How far am I going to come out with it? Probably just these ones here. 1, 2, 3... Yeah, I think that's probably the best thing to do. Oh, hang on. Hello. There we go. 1, Oh, it's a big one. It's a big one. We'll get a few wood chips of these. Okay. That's more like it. Ooh. Probably not best to be standing on it when you cut one of the limbs off, is it? One that's supporting it. No, probably that's going to disappear off down the hill, isn't it? I can already see that happening. This is remaining incredibly intact. The trees are down. All done. This one here, the big chunks of it here, and I moved some of the smaller bits up closer to the wood chipper. This one's in sections that fell fairly straight. Where's the other one gone? Oh, here. In amongst the grass just there. And then there's this one here which is in various pieces all over the place. Now, we need to get the wood chipper up and running. Now you can do this from the tractor, with the tractor hooked up on the front. If you're new to all of this and you've never used this before, or one like it, you can actually get into it. So if we go up to it like any other vehicle and press square, we can get inside. We can open the pipe. And usually, if I do L1 and up and... oh no, hang on. If they changed it, of course they have. Hang on, right. Of course they've changed the controls. Why leave them the same as FS17? That would be insane. Pipe in... can you not do it anymore? No way. You used to be able to raise or lower that pipe so you could get it to suit whatever you were doing. Well, I am surprised. Okay, so do L1 and X, unfold the wood crusher. That gives you the longer belt length and it's easier for doing longer pieces. That looks like a nice shiny scary wood crusher there. We do need to turn it on. It has its own engine. L1, R1 as well. Oh, hang on. Now it's... oh, okay. So now it's turned on. We've started the engine. We can adjust that. L1 then right stick. I'll adjust that in a minute. So engine's on. What else do we need to do? Change cruise control speed. Now, this is set on 3 miles an hour, and you can drive this yourself if you want to. We can drive forwards and backwards, and we can move, although the chocks are still under the wheel, which is a bit peculiar. You can't steer, at least you never used to be able to, no. You can just go forwards or backwards to adjust it. Now, I found on 17, don't know if it will still do it on 19, that sometimes it would creep on its own. So what I always used to do was go into cruise control, L1, R1, knock the cruise control down to 0, so then technically it's got no speed, so it shouldn't move, but I don't know, that's not to say it won't. Right, so turn on wood crusher. And then we get out, like so. And the wood crusher is now chugging away. The belt will drive as soon as you get some stuff going through it. So what I need to do now is put this under the belt. I'm going to do it lengthways, I think, rather than across this time. So this time I used to do a lot of wood chipping on various different Let's Plays on 17. I've got a weight over here as well. I went back up to the store and grabbed another piece of kit. Thank you very much to Dave who sent me the video, and all the people that commented to say you can do this. You'll see what I mean in a moment, hopefully. Let's get under there a little bit better. That doesn't look the straightest it's ever going to look. Okay, that doesn't look too bad, but we'll see how we go with that. I'll turn the engine off for the moment. Now I've got this pile of logs over here as well, which is going to mean a bit of ferrying backwards and forwards, but I'll grab one of these to start off with. And I've got a pile in front of it too. So the wood chipper's on, running. I don't need that menu open anymore. Let's get rid of that. So what should happen is, if I throw that in, there we go. And wood chips go into the trailer. And then it will tell us how many we've got for that log. 271 litres. Hooray. Okay, right, well, what I'm going to be doing now then is all these ones are on the floor here. I'm going to chuck in. And you can drop them in, you can throw them in. If you just press circle, like so, it drops. But if you want to throw, I think it's square. I'm never quite sure. Right, drop that on the belt. And away we go. Come on. The belt should be pulling that. No problem at all. Seriously? I'm not getting the wood crusher with you. Why is this not working? Right, throw. That's where I'm going. I think some of these might be a little bit awkward now then. And some are a bit small, some won't even register, I don't think. Of course not. What an idiot. Well, that's on the side. I'm doing well so far. Absolutely brilliantly. Right, let's turn that. Okay, why was it working now? There we go. So some of the smaller chunks should be easier. And my method was either using static wood chipper or this. And what I was doing... Oh, this is driving me mad. On 17 would be to use a Scorpion King, set the cut length on 1 metre and then just chop and away you go. I don't know how quickly that trailer's going to fill up actually. Full up? Fill up. Right, if I get it from the end instead and do it that way, that's better. Now obviously doing it in small bits like this, it's going to take a while. But it does prove the point as well, you don't necessarily need a Scorpion King to get this to work. You can do it by hand with a chainsaw and throw on logs a bit at a time. Now obviously the bigger logs, they're a bit harder to do. You can with a chainsaw if you really want to. Spend ages. There we go. I could spend ages with these bigger chunks, just getting my chainsaw and slicing them into really thin slices, because at the moment I can't pick any of those up. They're just too big, too heavy. But I could spend ages if I wanted to, cut them into tiny little chunks and do it all by hand if I wanted to. No, wrong way around. Let's do it from the end. It's my own rule, I just made it. So what I'm going to do then is get these in. When this pole's clear, then we're going to get into a couple of the larger logs and I'll show you what I mean. I'll show you what Dave showed me. And like I say, a few of you have mentioned it, a few of you have commented to say, and I'll show you what I'm talking about in... Seriously. Come on. Okay. Right, well that's the small bits. So here's the thing. If I grab the tractor... You can probably already see it, but I'm going to put a weight on the back. So I bought the weight down. It's only lease, I don't own that one. I think it was a few dollars. It wasn't too expensive to lease. Now I haven't tried this yet, but apparently it works. I've seen a video. This thing is becoming such a versatile piece of kit. I may well have to purchase one. At the moment this is leased as well. Now the bigger, heavier logs that I can't lift at the moment, if I come over, drop that down a bit, and then go like so. Oh yes. No more mucking around with log forks, and I used to use manure, the manure forks because they worked so much better. And then just disconnect. And then go the bigger ones. Nice, it should have come in from the other side really. That's brilliant. Thank you to everyone who commented. Thank you, Dave. This is going to work incredibly well and make incredibly light work of some of the more annoying stuff. So it means you can do stuff in much bigger bits, and because this, generally speaking, the straps will go a bit kind of further onto other bits that, you know what I mean. It will take more than just the one log. With the weight on the back, well, that really does go on its own. If you're not careful, to be incredibly gentle with that and do it in smaller increments. Yeah, it does mean you haven't got to chop your trees up as small. I cut that one in front of me into 3 pieces. But actually, as it turns out, I didn't need to. So what I'm going to do now is carry on. Straps. Oh, yes. Oh, superb. Now, to lease this was about 3,000. And to be honest with you, I will make some money on the wood chips. Not a massive amount. Wood chips don't normally sell for a lot. This was more about clearing. I needed to clear all the trees, and I needed to grind out the stumps to do the landscaping. So whatever I make is, you know, even if I only make £2 grand, it was more about landscaping and clearance than it was about making money on wood chipping. But it just seemed to make sense. It was the, kind of more the obvious way of doing it, really. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to do the same method. For the smaller ones that I've got over there, actually, you know what? I'm going to try something. I don't know if this is going to work. It might be a bit peculiar, a bit unorthodox, not at all realistic, I wouldn't assume. As I wouldn't assume. What am I talking about? Of course it's not. But let's assume that this is, you know, going to kind of, in a weird way, palletise these in some sort of strange way. I'm wondering how many of these this can pick up. I'm just curious. So let's strap that. Oh, you beauty. So what we've done is we've put the ratchet straps, tension straps, around as many as we can. We've wrapped them round and round, and, you know, go with it, it's fine. Now, how many of these are going to fall in and how many are going to fall out, I don't know. But it was worth a try. Get that high enough. Over the side. Yeah, some of these are going to drop off, aren't they? Well, maybe not. This bit of kit is awesome. Is it not ready, isn't it? It's not ready that made this. Oh, wow. Oh, I said this before, it's fast becoming one of my favourite bits of kit at the moment. I think we've got quite a few wood chipping. Let's go up the belt. Again, unorthodox, dangerous, shouldn't really do it. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Nice one there. Right, so I am going to continue now. I'll see you in a bit when either the trailer's full of wood chips or I've done them all. Whichever comes first. We do have a full load, 34,000 litres of wood chips. Now, I don't know, I've sold logs at the sawmill without owning it and it took them no problem at all, but I don't know if you need to own the sawmill to sell wood chips. The BGA obviously for silage you do, but I don't know about the sawmill. So I need to be very careful with this as I start to tip into the wood chip sell point. If the money doesn't... I don't know. It's a tricky one. I think I've come to the wrong bit, haven't I? Right, so the sell point for lumber is round two at the front there. Has a little icon. Now I don't know if when you come around the back here whether this does or not. This could end up being a huge waste of wood chips. Okay, well we'll see, won't we? That's why people screaming at the TV now. Of course you need to own it, you idiot. Oh, okay. There we go. We are making money. Not a huge amount, but we are making some. $11,423. That's actually not too bad at all, is it? We had the money from the contract. I completed the contract on field 13. Wow, okay. I wasn't expecting that much. That's pretty cool. I mean, that's for all intents and purposes. That's a decent harvest contract or sowing or whatever it might be. Good stuff. Right, let's get this back. Get the rest of those trees sorted, and then we'll get on to the landscaping part, which I need to do before the end of the episode. That was what I set myself as my challenge, my task for the episode. And that's what I intend. Oh, I'm pleased with that. Chuffed to bits. Right, all the trees have been cleared. I've got another full trailer, 34,000 litres in there. The wood chipper's got about 100, 200 litres maybe in it, which isn't really that much. So I'm not too bothered about that. We'll turn that off, fold that up, pipe in. and that'll be moved in a minute and then collected. But what we need to do now is grind these stumps out, and then we can do the landscaping. Good thing is, if I get another 11,000 odd for the next load of wood chips, that 20 grand, 22 grand should cover the landscaping. So taking down the trees and selling the wood chips covers the work I've got to do. Hasn't actually technically cost me anything, has it? So I've covered the leasing cost of this, no problem, of the wood chipper. Right, now this stump grinder, you can, if you want to, put those legs down and kind of work away on it. You can go side to side, up and down and whatnot, but you don't have to. You can just do it straight from kind of that position and go up and down if you want to. It depends how you're feeling. Technically you should really put the legs down. I mean, that kind of goes without saying, really. If I can find that the stump, where is it? Just in here. Can't see it amongst those. There you go, there I can see it. That's interesting. Why does that not want to grind out? Need to find the sweet spot. Oh, come on, so that doesn't go completely. Right, maybe from the other end. That's weird. Okay, well, I'm going to grind in. There's one more. Is it two more? Two more. Okay. No, it has gone. That's weird. Jumped about a little bit there. On here. Gone. And then the one. Where is it? Up here. Stump's gone, vehicle's removed. This isn't going to be pretty. I'm no expert at this, believe me. Right, let's come up to here. So I want to come off this level and head off that direction. First things first though, I'm going to put that on. Start landscaping. We want to do sculpting first, yes we do. But I want to change modification shape. I'm going to come up a bit. To there. So, flatten or smooth? Flatten, I think, isn't it? R1, there we go. Come right to the edge because I want it to be the same height. R1. As far as it'll let me go. think that's almost at the edge of our plot, isn't it? Oh, no, go a little bit further. How's that looking? Well, that has been expensive. Yep, that's the edge of the plot. So, terrain can't be modified here. Why not? What? Okay, that's weird. Why not? What's in the ground here that's causing a problem? Hang on, that... I don't know then, that's peculiar. That should... okay. Is there still part of a tree stump in there or something? Won't let me modify it there, but it will there. Well, I do declare. And it has been pricey. Oh, mind you, that said, I've still got another 11,000, haven't I, in the trailer for all intents and purposes to get rid of. That's annoying. Although it will let me come out a lot further. So maybe that's the option. Can't do it there because of the tree. But I can come out. Yeah, we'll have to look into that. Never mind. Right. Next step then is these bits here, because I think I eased off the slope a little bit. I'm sure I did. That doesn't want to do anything. That's very peculiar. Right. No, I don't want to do the top bit. Okay, let's leave that as a steep bit. What I do want to do here, though, is some painting. So what we'll do now, change landscaping mode to painting. I want to go across to the kind of mottled grass one. Is that the one? Oh, it's always a gamble. I think it might have been the one I had. That one, is it? Well, nope. No. That's kind of it. Oh, it already is though, isn't it? Pretty much. Okay, right. That did cost me a few quid, didn't it? But we have now got a nice big flat area here, which hopefully we can now put a shed on. Now I want to go for a larger shed, but I don't know if it's going to let me. No way, seriously? How big is that shed? Because that dip, that annoying bit. Okay. That will go on there. That is really frustrating. I need to find out what's going on here. Can't see anything. There's no part of a tree stump. How odd. Oh, it's going to be a small one. There's like a little drainage ditch here now. That's annoying. Oh well, right, smaller one then. So some of that landscape I needn't have bothered doing. I could have left this whole chunk off, but again I could have saved it and done that. That's neither here nor there. Annoying about that shed though. If I rotate it. No, it's still too massive and that ditch is annoying. Right, that one it is then. Let's put it back. Right, a minute ago that worked. Right, okay, there we go. How far can I go? And there we go, right. And that is actually flat this time rather than that one over there which is on slightly dodgy ground. Yeah, right. Next step then, a bit of landscaping, a bit more tarmac at the front of it I think. Go across one, landscaping yes. I want that to be at the moment square, zoom in a bit. A slightly big one, go to there and we want, is it that one? Like that I think. Yeah, that'll do. Right, now I want to go to that one, shrink that down. Then I want to go to this way, it'll go wrong as well. You know what? I'll shrink it right down in case I make a mistake here. Ah, that's it, cool. A little bit bigger. Soften off that corner. You know what? I think we're done. Sorry for the lack of chat while I was doing that. What I will do is jump in this. So we've now got an expanded tarmac apron, so it means we can be putting more equipment in there. Just thought if I'm in the tractor I can zoom out a bit and get a better look at it. That's not too bad. That other side's annoyed me. I can't really And I want to soften this edge a little bit. That still looks a little bit too sharp, I think. Looks too much like a straight line, so I think I'll do something along that a little bit, just to break it up a little bit. But not bad. All that work paid off. That did cost a lot of money to do all that, but then when you look at it, there's a big drop off at the back of there. We've done a lot of land. There would have been a lot of earthworks involved in doing that. Right, well, I think for this episode, well, it's looking quite big now, isn't it? We've got a lot going on. We're done for this episode. We've got the trees down, we've got some wood chipping done, we sold one lot, finished a contract, landscaping, new shed. I'm off to sell this lot, bring the money back up a little bit. Probably a few contracts off screen, I think, maybe, to get our money back up. But that said, I hope you enjoyed it. I know that landscaping was not pretty. I'm still baffled by that hole, but if anyone's got any ideas as to why it might have done that, and is it clashing with another, it might be that the water thing, but it shouldn't be, it's not that close to it. But anyway, if you have enjoyed this episode, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free, and if you want to share this video, then please be my guest, whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.